Hello, hello. Happy Thursday, everybody. This week has flown by. I don't know if I'm the only one, but man, I cannot believe it's already Thursday, and I'm so excited to be on here with you all today. It's been a crazy week, and I actually just wrapped up shooting. I do a cooking segment for a local show, and sorry, my dogs are fighting. Because of everything going on, we haven't been able to shoot in a while, so today was our first day back, and it was fun. So I'm kind of already in that cooking mode, so I'm super excited for today's recipe. I'm actually just stirring my pasta so it doesn't stick. Hey, Mom. But today we're making mac and cheese. So the next couple recipes we're going to be cooking on here live are going to be all family-friendly recipes. So kind of one of the biggest requests, let me break them up. Hey, no, go. One of the biggest requests I've had from, sorry, bad dogs. One of the biggest requests I've had from you, hey Nala, can you go to your house? Go to your house. One of the biggest requests I've had from you ladies has been recipes that you guys can make fit in your macros so you can stay on track with your goals, but also things that your family loves. So this is kind of the new focus of A Healthy Pasture over the next couple weeks. We're going to be adding a lot of family-friendly recipes from mac and cheese to meatloaf, and my goal is to make them a little bit healthier, of course, from cooking from scratch, adding veggies where I can, but also really delicious and in a way that you can make it kind of work into your goals. So for example, this might be a little high in fat for a regular macro day for you, but you can have a half portion with some chicken, drive up the protein, and make it work. So I'm super excited for these recipes. So next week, I think we have it all planned out. We're doing meatloaf, chicken tenders, and then I'm gonna be doing a, not for families, but for moms, and because it's just Kentucky strawberry season right now, and I love Kentucky strawberries, we're gonna be doing a bourbon strawberry smash cocktail. So I think that's gonna be on Thursday. So stay tuned, or maybe Wednesday, I'm not sure, but let's schedule posted, so stay tuned for those. They're gonna be a lot of fun. I do apologize today about the setup. Mike borrowed my iPad and it's in his car, and he's golfing. So I've got my phone, but I can still see you guys. Hopefully you can see me just fine. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Kate Horning. I'm a chef and nutritionist. I'm the creator of A Healthy Passion, which is a meal planning software. I've been using it quite a bit lately with all the new upgrades, and I have to say, it is so much easier than MyFitnessPal when you're not sure what to eat. So I sit on there, and you can push this little random button, and it pulls up recipes that fit within your macros that it recommends. So if you are pre-planning out your week, it makes it so much easier. So if you guys aren't using A Healthy Passion, go to ahealthypassion.com. You can check it out. It's got over 800 recipes, all the nutritional breakdowns for everything. It's designed to just make it easy to stay on track with your goals, to know what to eat if you want to lose weight, if you're carb cycling, whatever your goal may be, but also to be able to enjoy good food with your family. So again, today's mac and cheese. So you guys can make mac and cheese work? You can make anything work. So I'm going to show you guys what we're going to use for this recipe, and then we'll go ahead and dive in. Hey Emily, say hi when you're popping on. Also, quick reminder, if you guys haven't downloaded the meal plan, we've got another 2-week meal plan. You guys have been asking for done-for-you meal plan. So A Healthy Passion basically is designed for if you want to make your own meal plan. It makes it super easy. If you want a done-for-you meal plan, every 3 weeks I'm releasing one. Hey Laura, and the newest one was released on Tuesday. It's 2 weeks, breakfast, lunch, dinner. All the macros are broken down for you, calories, fat, protein, carbs, everything. It's on our carb cycling plan. So basically you have 2 low-carb days, 3 regular macro days, and 3 rest days. Hey, how are you? And literally you're told exactly what to eat every day, and the best part is that you have a shopping list for the entire week. So go to the store once, cook. I think there's 13 recipes the first week, and this is breakfast, lunch, dinner. So this gives you prepping things. This gives you everything that you possibly need, and it's broken down by department to make it really easy. So if you have not snagged that yet, I think the link is somewhere on this page. I'll post it in the comments at the end, but it's katehorning.com/mealplan2, I believe. But it's awesome. I've had a lot of ladies who are following it that said it's just been so helpful. So definitely grab that. I changed them out, so if you don't get it, it's gone. Okay, so mac and cheese. We're going to start with a base, kind of a roux. So you see a roux a lot in Cajun cooking. And essentially a roux is going to create a really creamy sauce. And I'm not going to be using a ton of cheese in here. So we're only using 3 ounces for 2 really generous portions. So what's going to help make it extra creamy is going to be that roux. So I'm using shallot and garlic as a base, and that's going to be our flavor. And then I'm going to build it up with some flour and some veggie stock and some olive oil, and that's going to get nice and thick. And then we're going to add some half and half, or you could use skim milk. I just had half and half, so that's what I'm using. A little bit of mustard, and then our cheddar cheese. And then we've got our macaroni pasta that's cooking. And hey guys, hey all ladies popping on, say hi. We're gonna toss that with the mac, and then we're gonna go ahead and add some spinach, panko breadcrumbs, and bake it. So it's gonna be technically a baked mac and cheese, but not a ton of ingredients, but definitely a little bit more than I'm used to on a normal basis. So we're gonna start again with building up that roux. So I'm gonna use a generous tablespoon and a half of olive oil. And I'm going to go ahead and get it over some like medium-low heat, so probably about a 2. And I've already got my I keep wanting to say mac and cheese, macaroni pasta boiling. It's been in there for probably 6 minutes maybe. I'm gonna give it a taste. That's perfect. And because we are cooking it in the sauce in the oven, we wanna make sure it's nice and al dente. So that essentially means to the tooth, but when you're cooking it, you really wanna make sure that it comes off about a minute or 2 early, and that'll keep it nice and firm versus getting mushy. I know, my mom's coming to visit. So she'll be on with me next week. I think, Mom, we're cooking meatloaf and maybe the cocktails. I don't know. We're cooking some good stuff. Okay, then to that olive oil. Hey, Susan. We're gonna add our garlic, and I'm just doing 2 cloves of garlic, and these are pretty big cloves, so you could probably get away with 1, but I like some garlic. And we're gonna go ahead and mince, which I rarely ever do, but in this case, we're really trying to incorporate it into the roux. So we don't want big chunks. So I'm just gonna kind of run my knife through it, and I mean roughly mince. We're not trying to get super fancy here, but just small enough that it can saute down. Yeah, Mom, I can't wait to cook with you either. We're gonna have some fun. You know, that's all we're gonna do. Okay, so garlic's gonna go in. And if you guys do have the meal plan, make sure you're posting pictures as you cook from it. So I did get a couple of questions. It is a 1,500 calorie meal plan, so it's based off of that. But if you want more calories, you can add snacks. If you need less calories, you could take snacks out, but 1,500 is pretty average. We do have the 2 rest days like we do with our carb cycling plan, so those are a little lower calorie. But again, this is for anyone who's looking to start carb cycling and you don't know where to begin, or you want to lose weight, but you're not able to really stick to anything and you just need a good plan. So it's going to make it really easy. Okay, so again with the shallot, sort of thin slices, I don't know, I wouldn't call it minced, but pretty finely chopped, because we want it to kind of break down into the sauce. Hey Megan. Okay, so shallot and onion are in, or shallot and garlic are in, and I apologize, we shot 4 recipes today, so I'm a little bit, like, brain dead, I think is the right word. I've been talking a lot and cooking a lot and thinking a lot. Hello, hello. See more ladies popping on. All right, so we're just gonna kind of let that soften for about a minute, and then we'll stir our flour in. I'm gonna turn the heat up just to get it going. Since I'm not cooking with gas here, sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Okay, and then I've got my tablespoon here. I'm gonna do a tablespoon and a half. Oh, thank you, Susan. Actually, it's the first time I've done my hair and makeup, I think, actually all of quarantine. So, I know, I haven't got out of the house much, so this is it. But thank you. Now I'm like flattered, flustered. So we're gonna add 1.5. So when you're making a roux, you want equal parts of fat to flour. So in this case, we're adding 1.5 tablespoons of our olive oil, and we're gonna do 1.5 tablespoons of butter. So it's an equal part, or gosh, I can't talk, flour and olive oil. Is the meal plan separate from the Sarah app? Yes, Tracy. So the meal plan is actually a done-for-you meal plan. It's 2 weeks. It's $17. You download it, and it has breakfast, lunch, and dinner planned out for you. Every recipe, no, I'm not a lefty. I think it's on my phone backwards, Laura. Every recipe is, I wish I was lefty. When I was little, I used to pretend to write with my left hand. Every recipe in the meal plan, Tracy, is from A Healthy Passion, but you actually have the recipes on the PDF. So if you don't have A Healthy Passion, you'll still have the recipes, but if you do have it, you can actually click and it'll take you right to them in your Healthy Passion app. The cool thing about it is that it's designed for one, so if you are cooking a recipe, you're gonna have it twice, so it teaches you how to make leftovers and how to kind of work recipes in from regular macro to low carb and you know, so forth. If you're cooking for a family, it's easy to scale. And the best part is the shopping list is done for you as well. So it's all broken down by department, similar to A Healthy Passion when you use it to shop. And all the recipes are simple. I kind of designed to be just kind of an intro sort of meal plan. So they're all really simple recipes, but my goal is to get you to start learning how to fuel yourself, learning how to cook if you want to lose weight. It'll help you with that, and just understanding how to carb cycle properly. Okay, so I'm going to turn the heat back down a little bit to medium-low. A tablespoon and a half flour goes in, and basically we're going to work the flour into the olive oil. And what we're doing here is essentially cooking that raw out of the flour. So when you have a roux, if you have a really good one, like in Cajun cooking, they've cooked this roux for an hour until it gets really dark brown. In this case, we're just trying to cook it enough to really get rid of the flour taste. So that way it thickens up the sauce, but you don't taste raw flour. So maybe a minute, not super long. You really want to keep an eye on it here because it can easily burn. So you want to keep it moving in the pan. You don't want to let it sit for too long. And again, I'm over like a 2 right now that my pan got hot. You want it over like a medium-low heat. And the garlic and onion shallot smells so, so good. Okay, so that looks great. Next thing we're going to do is add our veggie stock. So I'm just using these veggie stock cubes like I always do. We're using 1/2 of them. If you don't have a cube, just use a 1/2 cup of veggie stock. I'm going to work that in first, and then I'm going to add my water. Again, if you aren't using the cubes and you're actually using stock, you want to cook it a tiny bit further. And I'll show you guys what it's supposed to look like. But I like working the veggie stock in. I think it just gives it a more savory flavor. You could also use a little white wine in here if you want. I'm just using water, like I said. But wine would make it a little more adult. All right, so that looks good, and this is what we're looking for. I don't know on my phone if you guys can see it. But it's like a medium golden brown. It's not super dark, but it's not white. Okay, so then water goes in, 1/2 cup of water, or veggie stock if you're using stock. And we're gonna let that cook and kind of incorporate in, and you'll see it'll start to thicken a little bit. Sort of like if you guys have ever made gravy, I know probably in Kentucky, that's a good reference, but it's similar to like when you make gravy, how you make the roux first, and then you add the liquid, and it gets nice and thick. And I'm gonna pick my phone up so you guys can see this. Oh my gosh, this looks so good. Oops. So Tracy, it's actually, if you scroll down a little bit in this group, you can find the link to download it. It's an instant download. You just go to a sales page, you pay $17, you get a link, you download it. You can start cooking as soon as tomorrow. So, and I'll post a link underneath this video as well. All right, so that's what it looks like. And I know you all love the overhead. I couldn't figure out how to do the iPhone attachment. All right, so that looks really good. Now I'm gonna turn the heat down even lower, so like to a 1. And I'm gonna try to do this with one hand. But yeah, Tracy, I think you'll really like the meal plan. It's got a lot of variety. It just, if you're the type of person who's like, I'd rather just be told what to eat and stay on track, it's perfect for that. So you guys are saying, I asked a poll. Basically, I was trying to see if AHP would be a better fit or the meal plan. It kind of a split, but AHP is more for people who want to build out their meal plan week by week and make it really easy with just a click of a few buttons. The done-for-you meal plans are literally just download, shop, and cook, and make sure that you're carb cycling correctly. Okay, so I added in a 1/2 cup of 1/2 and 1/2. Again, you could use any milk that you have. I would recommend, dairy milk. If you wanted to make this, with almond milk or something, go for the unsweetened. But for me, I just had 1/2 and 1/2 left over, so that's what I'm using. It's really not going to add all that many extra calories to it, and it's going to make it really delicious. Okay, so then that goes off. The heat goes off. And then I'm going to add in, and again, I'm using one hand for this, a 1/2 teaspoon probably, just a little drop, ooh, please come out, of mustard. And this is just going to give it kind of that nice little hint of flavor. You're like, where'd that come from? You could also add cayenne pepper here as well. This would be a fun little addition. And then we're going to fold in our cheese, and I'm using 3 ounces of cheddar cheese. And I'm trying to do it with one hand, and it's warm in here, so my cheese is a little bit melted to the bowl, but I just went ahead and shredded it. Now you want to make sure that you use cheese that you shred by hand. Otherwise, you'll end up with not a very smooth sauce, because they put this like, thank you. My mom got this for me, I think. Didn't you, Mom? Yeah, Structure's awesome, Tracy. And to be honest, I've actually been following them lately because life has just been so busy. And it just makes it really easy. And I'm trying to cut down my grocery shopping, so it's nice because I go to the store once a week. I get everything that I need, and then I just cook. And again, like I mentioned, it's really great because it, you cook once and you have, 2 meals. Okay, and again, you don't want to use the stuff that's already pre-shredded because it's actually coated in a chemical that doesn't let it melt as well. All right, so then that looks good. So then the next thing I'm going to do is add some spinach. So I'm going to use about 2 cups of baby spinach. If I wasn't holding this, I would probably cut it up a little bit, but we're just going to work it right in. And that's a generous 2 cups, but essentially 2 handfuls. You want to wilt your spinach in, and then on top of the spinach, I'm going to add the cooked pasta, and that'll actually help it wilt even more. And like I mentioned, this makes 2 generous portions. With AHP, every recipe in the software is 2 portions, but if you guys don't want to eat the full portion, if you're like, I want a small portion of this and then add some chicken, you can easily do a half portion, and it tracks just as well. So, like the pasta salad that Susan, you rocked, I think you've made twice now. That makes 2 very generous portions, so you can easily break it down into 3 or 4. So I'm just going to stir and basically incorporate everything in here. And again, I would probably add some cayenne pepper or my true love, red pepper flakes, and then a little pinch of salt as well. Hey, Linda. I'm stirring with one hand, and I'm trying to talk, and I'm trying to hold my phone, so give me a break. I miss my cameraman. I wish I had my tripod, though. It would be a little easier, but I am trying to hold it without moving too much. Okay, so this is all going to get incorporated in, and again, if I had a tripod and I was cutting normally, I would cut the spinach up, cooking normally, I'd cut the spinach up, but we're just going to make it work here. You all could just eat it like this, to be honest. Like, look how creamy and delicious it is already. Susan, your picture made me, I literally laughed for probably 5 minutes over that, the Mean Girls reference. It is so good. So Susan, I made today with one of my recipes I did for my TV segments. I did a pasta salad with rotini, and it was like a Greek style, so it had like red pepper and cucumber, and we did like an oregano red wine dressing. So that'll be in, I think, next week. Okay, so I'm gonna have to put this down because I gotta open up the breadcrumbs, but let's see. Let me see how I can do this. And I apologize for filming. If anyone wants to come over to my house and film me when I cook, I would be forever grateful. I don't know how I did this to begin. Oh my goodness. Okay. We're gonna go like this. Sorry, I know. We might have to make this again, Mom. I honestly have but I have not done mac and cheese from scratch like this in probably 3 or 4 years. So when you all were giving me all your favorites, your family favorites, I was like, I saw mac and cheese and just ran with it. By the way, I preheated my oven to, I'm sure you guys know what's in my pantry. I preheated my oven to 425 degrees, and that's where we're going to bake it. Okay, so now we're going to do our breadcrumbs, and I'm using a panko breadcrumbs. I'm not doing a lot of breadcrumbs just because there's a lot of carbs in the pasta. So it's more just to give it like a nice little crust on top, and I'll show you guys what it's going to look like. Just enough to give it that little crunch, because I don't know about you all, but whenever I have mac and cheese, like my favorite part is the crispy edges. So I just find a little panko really makes it kind of have that crispiness all over. And then again, a little tiny bit more salt, a little bit more red pepper on top. Flip it around. So Tracy, what I've been doing is, because I've been going live on Facebook so much lately, is that I'm actually testing recipes that are going in. So what I've been doing is the recipes I cook this week are going to be in next week. So you're on my email list. You'll get an email when they're in there. So this one will be in next week, probably like early next week. All right, so that's what it looks like. It's going to go into the oven for probably about 15 minutes, just until it's bubbly on the edges and kind of brown on top. And then when that's done, it's ready to eat. So I will go ahead and post a picture. I'm not going to make you guys sit here and talk to me for the next 15 minutes, but I will post a picture for you guys when it's all finished. And again, if you're subscribing to A Healthy Passion, if you're not, go do it. You're going to love it. But if you are, it'll be in the software next week. Also with the recipes I did today, which were a Greek pasta salad. I did a kale salad with strawberry and feta, which was so good. Great pepper head. I did a, what else? Oh, This was really good. I did a spaghetti squash, like an enchilada style spaghetti squash, where I did enchilada sauce and chicken in the Instant Pot with some veggies and then stuffed it into a squash. A little cheese on top and baked it. So keep an eye out for those. And then also don't forget to join me next week. I'll be on, I think, 3 times. So you can get all the details. I think I did a little picture post for you all. And of course I'll post again. And yeah, if you guys have any other questions, just shoot me a message or comment below. I'll get the link to the meal plan posted under here as soon as I hop off, so you guys can download it and start cooking. And have an awesome week, guys. Bye.